Welcome to this edition of the Million Dollar Mastermind podcast. This is where we pick the brains of high achievers from all walks of life and get their hard-earned, real-world insights on winning. I'm your host, Larry Weidel. Again, have you started taking some vacations and doing some extra things? Have you, or is that you put that on the back burner, or what are the rewards you're looking for? Probably, some people are, they'll live in a small apartment for a long time until they save up $1 million, and then they'll start to get their own home, or they'll deny themselves and then do things, delay satisfaction type thing for the future. And do you think like that?
Not really, because I'm a big believer in rewarding your effort, because that reinforces you. If you do something for 5 years and see no reward, you're going to very likely be discouraged. Right. So I like to reward myself, but the way I want to be rewarded. What do I mean by that? Somebody enjoys 2 weeks lying on a beach in a 5-star resort.
Yeah.
Not really my thing. I rather enjoy a week-long retreat or seminar where we work on ourselves all day. But after 7 days, I feel ecstatic. I feel like, wow, I learned so much. So I rather invest a lot of my money, which not only for the growth, but also for the satisfaction, the people I meet. So a lot of it goes to coaching, seminars, these private events. That's how I like to reward myself. Also, I take vacations, of course, but usually I don't need vacation if I love what I do. So I still read books at least, or work a little bit, because I enjoy it, so I don't need vacation really.
So when you were doing the Uber Eats phase of your life, from that and that start, when did you start into seminars, and which seminars seemed to make the biggest impact on you?
Yeah, I went to Tony Robbins. That was a big one. Unleash the Power Within. And that one just gave me a lot of things. I actually got certified by Tony Robbins after it as a coach. So that helped a lot. It was a few months after it. So basically, I earned 5K, I invested. I earned 10K, I invested. So it was just back in me. I know a lot of people, let's say, invest in stocks, but if I invested in myself 10K, I double it usually, even more than that. So, until I started to make way more, all the money went back in myself.
Now, how does this development work when you go? Is it what you hear on stage, or is it the people you meet in the conversations in the hallways? We found that in our business, financial services, that I spent my career in, you always have big events to get people together to show them the bigness, and they can see people on stage that they can relate to, but basically they hear things they've already heard before, but they hear it in a different way. But they also see people that have had big achievements, and it gives them a chance to kind of get this conversation going in their heads, and plus takes them out of the advantage takes them out of their environment. That's kind of locked into a certain viewpoint around people that think the same way. And you get them out of that, and they start, usually after the second night away from home, we found the breakthroughs start to come. You've broken that connection to where they came from. And, they're more into the new things they're hearing, and they're starting to think about their future. And the longer they're there, the more they are thinking forward and ready to make changes when they go back, because I've had a chance to think about it and see how, the objections that would come up in their mind, but they're in an environment where they can get those objections out on the table and go back. But then there's a lot of people that have been to 1,000 Tony Robbins things and never get on a God blessed thing when they came back. Now, when they come back, they're delirious with joy. Unbelievable. Again, my life has changed. Unbelievable. Hawaii is unbelievable. I walked in the fire. I swam with the sharks. Unbelievable. They came back and they do the same God blessed thing. And so, but at least they had the chance to change your life. At least that's it. Maybe it'll percolate. Maybe they need to go hear it again before they break out. But if you're really looking for it, these things can have an impact on you, because it allows you to put ideas together in your head. What did you find? How were you different? How did it allow you to be different?
Yeah, I believe nowadays it's not about what you know, it's what you apply. Information is so available that it's about application. So anytime I go on an event, I spend after it a day thinking, what am I going to apply? And again, I put myself in some of what I call 90-day challenge. So these things are 3 things I will apply the next 90 days to get the result. So yes, it's about the people I meet. Yes, it's about the inspiration. Yes, it's about the knowledge. But knowledge is not amazing unless you apply it. So I'm so big on application rather than just, oh my goodness, I changed my life, but next week I go back to the old rails.
Yeah. And I think the way you hold all of this, the Bible says the heart is deceitfully wicked above all things. And so you can rationalize to yourself, well, explain this away, explain that. Yeah, I should have, but the reason why, and you're really lying to yourself, and the one way, I've heard this phrase, Vash, that I think is absolutely true, is the only thing that will cause you to change is reality. Like if you have these opinions about this and opinions about that, then you go out charging up the hill because you think that's going to work out, and then you get your butt kicked. Then you say, "Oh, maybe I was wrong on that."
Yeah.
Or I've been trying that for 6 months and nothing happens. What I find is when you make changes that are valid, you start to see results. Now, you had like 63 days, but it's not like 630 days. You know what I'm saying? Is at some point, the wheel starts to move, or you got to go find another approach, or refine, make another adjustment. And so, what have you? How do you find you continue to improve these exposures? And the training, I know, also changes me and you. Talking, like I'm learning from you, you're learning from me, and we continue to do that same thing going forward. Especially when we try and transfer these concepts to other people, it makes it clear in our mind. Plus, we reminded ourselves. It gives a good excuse to remind ourselves. And one thing I always worked for in management is to get new people. A few people to train themselves as fast as possible, because I know that would start their maturity and, further their education much more than sitting in a room. And so how did you find these things and in the past, but even now helps you improve?
100%, because again, if I apply few things from each thing, I will be 100x better year after. Yeah. So application was the key. And then as I coach people, exactly as you said, to coach people, you need to simplify, because most people don't know these concepts. So you need to make it as simple as possible, which takes a lot of effort to simplify something which is kind of broad or complex. And so I had to spend time learning how to explain things. And as I'm explaining it to others, I'm reminding myself or teaching it to myself as well. So yeah, I always said when I read a book, I would read a book and then I go in front of a mirror and for a few minutes, I repeat to myself what I've learned just so I can remember it better.
Yeah. And, it goes deeper down in you. And the thing is, I've heard that I think it's the best explanation of genius I've heard is that genius is taking a complex process or concept and breaking it down into something so simple anybody can understand it. And nobody's a genius on everything. Einstein was a friggin' idiot in a lot of areas of his life, but he was a genius when it came to the physics and the mathematics and things like that. And so, we could be a little bit of a genius. There would be a few subjects that we could be a genius on because we've simplified it, we held on to that, and we got to simple enough in our mind where we can pass that on to other people. So you can have a little taste of that, and where you can transfer positive concepts that will be powerfully engaging for new people. And it's it's fun to do that because when you're at a point of achievement yourself, the ideas you've learned do you no good whatsoever unless you use them or you can pass them on to somebody else who can use them. Because all the value comes in using this stuff. And it's fun to pass it on to other people and just to see what they can do with it and have a chance, because they can open up other worlds that none of us can think of everything. And none of us can think of how to apply all of these great ideas. But these concepts are like little balls of magic, like a treasure chest, like keys to the kingdom, and it can unlock doors that you didn't even know you needed to unlock. And so it's interesting to go through this process. It's a great way to live your life, isn't it? Very rewarding.
Yes, very rewarding.
And so how did you now, how do you look at your future? What are you most excited about? And what's the next big target on your horizon?
Yeah, for me,
25 years old.
Yeah, for me right now, it's really focused on getting better at my craft. So coaching. Also, it's about growing the business to much more students. The goal now is 10,000 students. And at the same time, I know that life is a journey. We will never arrive. So I'm more now focused on the moment I have right now, maximizing this moment, maximizing the moment I have with my family, with my team, with the students. So really more focused, not only about the future as I used to be a lot. Now it's about focus now. Enjoy this moment right now.
Now, how is your family and your team developed? How big is your team?
Team right now, overall in all companies, is 20 people.
Yeah, that's a lot to keep up with. Now, they're scattered where? Where are they?
All over the world. US, Brazil, Europe, Germany, and many, many countries.
So you don't sleep anymore. You're
No, I optimize well. So until 1 p.m., I don't have a single call or message. So from
excellent.
7 a.m. till 1 p.m., it's just me focusing on the things that move the needle forward.
Yeah. And how about family time? When do you put the family time in there?
Yeah, I put it in the evenings. The evenings, it's family time. Yeah.
Well, it's an exciting thing to see what you've got started and what you're looking forward to do. I want you to make I'm going to give you a challenge. You can take it if you want. I'm going to challenge you to have so much growth in the next year, 2 or 3, as soon as possible, that you're going to grow. You're going to have so many experiences that you're going to want to get back on and share them with me. And so we can grow together. How does that sound?
Yeah. I definitely accept the challenge, Larry. So we'll speak soon.
Well, you get we'll make sure you have my cell phone. Feel free to call me anytime on anything. And let's stay in touch and get you back on here as soon as possible. And next time I get to Croatia, I'm going to look you up.
Amazing. Thank you so much, Larry, for the platform, and super excited to again hang out one day in the future.
All right, fantastic. Thanks for listening to the Million Dollar Mastermind. If you felt there were any valuable takeaways from this episode, please take a minute and leave us a 5-star review. Your feedback is important and really helps us get the word out to a wider audience. Remember, we have a valuable webinar that is absolutely free. Register for it right now at weidelonwinning.com. Thanks for listening.